I wouldn't if I were you, Mossy. Trumpy. No. No! No! Get here. Mossy. You too. Shame on you. Come on. Good morning, everyone. I'm out here in the bush again on another trap line. The dogs are having fun in the background here as usual. Made our way over to the flood crossings on the other side of this big property, and there's a big storm kicking around. I think it's just going to go around us. Rumbles and bangs going on. I had hoped it might just drop 5 or 10 mils of rain just to settle things down a bit, but anyway, not to be. Let's have a look and see whether we find any dog tracks here. It looks like dog there, I reckon. Old stuff. There's been a dog there, but a while back. See where he's sort of stitch pattern. Something's been going under here. Pig. Boar pig's been pushing through there. I reckon there's been a dog there as well. It's worth a couple of traps here, just in case this dog comes back, but we've got to contend with this pig as well. Okay, if this storm doesn't hit, I think these 3 traps are in a good place. This dog comes back. I've set 2 down here on the point of the gully where the pig and the dog have been going through. As I came back up here to the vehicle, I just started to walk up here, just checking as I always do. And I noticed this big bingo scat right here. It's gone white, so it's a bit old, but I thought that's a good place for a trap. And seeing it's a scat, it's like a marking spot for a dog. They'll check it again if they come down, so I've just used bits urine on that little tuft, as if another dog has come and marked over the top of their marking spot. And I've just put a simple walk through there, a couple of sticks up to one side to stop them from, from going on that side of it, and a nice little track through there, so we shall see. Oh. Some people are evening people and some people are morning people. I happen to be a morning person. I love early mornings. I'm up here on another trap line, central North Queensland. Hot, dry, dusty and beautiful. It's just great to be alive. If you tuned in last week, you saw that we had an age restriction censorship put up on that last clip. And as such, it's only done about 6,000 views and it's demonetised and the whole lot. And that's because, if you look at it, on the 19-minute mark, I show footage of a dead pig. A pig I shoot with 1 shot. And for some reason, some little, mindless, faceless git there decides that I am of adult-only content, and I've got to be restricted. And I think it's more because I had a little bit of a mention of the Don and face at the start of it, and I think that's what it is. Now, hopefully, to even the people that are knock me on my channel and get on there and have a go at us, hopefully you'll realise that this is an attack on the freedom that I think we all enjoy and appreciate and what's the word for it, and value so highly. So that's one of the reasons why we started our Patreon channel, was we were hoping if we get enough people behind us that we could put all our content across there, ad-free and private, and get it going. Unfortunately, we haven't had enough people come across to Patreon yet. Yeah, we're not rich. Jude and I are not rich people by any stretch of the imagination, and we're struggling to try and keep this all going. But we will. We will. With your help, we will. So anyway, hopefully they won't do it to us this week. What have we got here? 120 odd thousand acres, I suppose. I'll get over to the smaller section, it's about 20,000 acres, where the landowners have been running goats, the Spanish feral goats, here for the meat trade. And they've just mustered yesterday, that's why I haven't been over there already. I was letting them get the mustering done, but by the look of it, there's a lot of goats missing. And that's what we noticed when we were up here last time, that the dogs were coming in and literally just pulling the scrotums or the tails off these goats, and they'd go away and die, or some they were killing, but the losses were horrific. So yeah, let's get over there as soon as we can, check these ones, get over there and see if we can catch these dogs that are causing this. They had a little fall of rain here yesterday afternoon out of that storm, and it's just put a bit of a coating on the road, so if there's any fresh tracks we should see them. Right there, I reckon I saw fresh tracks back here on the road. Worst thing up here is probably washed the scent away from my trap sets, and yeah, it's probably rendered them useless. Right, so that's twice now I've seen dog tracks on this section down here, so that's good. I'll put another trap down here somewhere. It looks like this is a regular beat for this dog, so we'll catch it on this road. I've got 3 sets in this gully here. Looks all peaceful. Cattle have slightly kicked that one out of the ground here, just a little bit. So I'll just push it back in, scratch a bit of dirt over, a bit of sand over the top, and she'll be right to go. Right, we're coming up on the first trap set. Now this area is outside the exclusion fence area. This is what they call the desert country. First trap set's just up here, so we'll see if we've got a strike. That'll have been all over it, but they just missed it. Oh no, look at that. Cattle have kicked it out, and we've had a dog here. We've had a dog right over the top of it. Right through. Right, we're heading down into the first major creek crossing here. Got 3 traps here. I certainly don't envy them trying to keep these flood crossings in place when the big rains are on. Huge job. And therein lies our problem. Cattle coming through here, and they just kicked 2 of the 3 traps out. Reset and go again. All looks quiet. Right, on our last program, we caught there's 3 dogs here, just off the side of this windmill. Yeah, they'd actually killed a big red roo and were snacking on him. So let's see if they revisit the bones of this roo, and I'll just set a couple here. Tree here, I think it's one of the Gidgee family. It's out in bloom, that's what all these birds are coming in at. Very pretty little flower. Right, I've set 2 traps there, and we shall just see if they come and visit that on the way over to the water trough. There's quite a few young calves here, so they should be sniffing around here. Even if they're not killing the calves, they'll be still looking for afterbirth and any calf that dies, anything like that. We've come along here now to where there's a swamp. You wouldn't think so at the moment because it's so dry, but they tell me there's a swamp here when it's wet. Down along this patch of timber is really wet. Now, when I first come out here, there was a set of dog tracks on the road back here. I come out here this morning and this dog comes on the road for about, probably about 100 metres, I suppose, then goes off the road. You see the tracks, fresh tracks, they're going along there after the rain last night, so I think it's probably more like this morning it's come through there. Now, it might be that this dog comes through out of this other side of the old swamp here. It doesn't go further down the track, it just comes onto the track here and it's going somewhere else. It's like a pass through. But that's twice, 2 nights in a row, it's walked in the same area. So there's a tree here I can use as a marker on the side of the road. It's got triple branches on it, triple trunks, and a big scar on the side. So I call it the triple tree sets. And just right where I think this will go through, I will set 3 traps here, and I'll put some long distance call and see whether we can get this dog to visit this area. I think it's going to come through here again. Probably put some scat here as well, and then say magna gland up high as a long distance attractant. So if this dog comes through this patch of timber, anywhere within probably a 50 metre either side, it should come in. Right, we've come back here to the intersection of these 2 sort of main, sort of what you call them, arterial roads, I suppose. The main road that goes through the middle of the property, and this one goes right out to the far side. And back about 2 kilometres from here, that's where I saw the fresh tracks on the road. But I get right down here to the junction, and this is what I've got here. The fresh tracks of that dog come through after the rain, walks through the puddles, and he's come right out to this junction. So I'm putting a trap right out in the open here. So what I've done with this one, I've just chosen a little mound of dirt. It's away from the bushes. It's something if this dog is really haunted and he stays well away, then I reckon scat or something there, probably scat, that he'll come and try and mark off. And I think if he's going to come in, he's going to go on the outward side of that scat. So I'll put it just on the mound there. I've screwed this trap in. I'll just put the final touches to it now. Let's get a bit of dust over the top. Right, so I've screwed it in with 2 screws here, and I've set that trap in. I've pushed all the way around the edges of it so that it's nice and firm, but not too firm that it slows it down. And I'll just tamp in around the mechanism, make sure there's no air pockets, because I do think that when steel heats up in this ground, if there's air pockets, then that gives off a vapour, it gives off a smell. So try and tidy all this up. Get all the loose bits off the side there, so there's no fingers pointing inwards. Swap over and do the same with this one. People say, oh, you're putting scent on the ground, rah, 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 rah. Yeah, well, for some reason it catches dogs. If I listen to all my knockers that know better than myself, and they probably do, I should be wearing gloves, and I should be doing this, and I should be doing that, and not, using deodorant, and not washing my hands in soap and dust, thousands of things. If I did all that, there wouldn't be a dog left in this country. Righto, so I put a little bit of prickle bush there. It's broken off these prickly acacia when they graded, so I put a little bit of prickle there. A scat off a dog that I caught at another property. Trap set, little stepping stick, little tussock there to one side. I think once that the sun gets on that, that'll camouflage back in really well. And just, yeah, little surprise package. Right, so that's the sort of trap where I'm aiming specifically at a very cunning dog. that thinks it knows it all, that thinks it's got this. It's out in the open, it'd be very bold here, where it's sort of like, can look all around, nothing can get at it. I think that trap's got a chance. Okay, so when we come back through here last night, this was flooded. This was all full of water. We've had cattle come down through here. This has got a squeaker. The squeaker's still working. I had a cat right here on the edge of the water. See, cat's come into the squeaker, left his tracks in the mud, and that trap, I think, is somewhere in that water. I'll come around here further. The dog's been here too. It's gone around the water. Right, that's unlucky. I've had a cat and a dog to this site. The squeaker's been working well, and it's been flooded with that little storm we had last night. This whole thing was under like 6 inches of water right here in the bottom depression of the road. So probably made a mistake not having a second trap here. So I only had the one. I'll put another one here now, and we'll see if they come back. In jail. Oh, Trumpy, you in jail, Trumpy. Well, this has been a super, super hot afternoon. I don't think I can actually remember when I felt as drained as what I've felt this afternoon. I think I've drunk probably 6 litres of water so far today, and I've just been in the truck. So yeah, it's been a hot one. You know, it started to cool off a little bit now. It's about 2:30, 3 o'clock, and just overcast, but clouds come in. It's a lot better. We're able to get out there now and do something. I pulled up for about an hour under a tree, just couldn't go on. Dogs were just panting like heck in the back. We come up to this first gateway system here up through the middle of the place. And I caught actually 2 dogs just up here last time. And as I went to open the gate, I just looked over here. So is that dog track? Anyway, I'm sure there's a young dog that's come through here around this fence line. And so I'll drop a trap in the corner, and then I'll go up here and I'll put one another 100 metres further up here where I caught one last time. So, yeah, back in action. Okay, we've come up here to where I caught a dog, I think 2 dogs here last program. I've got dog tracks right here. So let's try it again. Same thing, same place. All right, 2 more traps in there on this dried up creek bed. Dead cow over here, dead heifer. If a dog's going through here, you'd think they would call in and just check it. In the morning, I've thrown some Toyota food in the old girl and grabbed a few more traps. Dogs are locked in the back, ammunition in the rifles. Are we ready? Oh. The heat the last few days has really been sapping it out of me, I think, since I've had this flu. Endeavour to persevere. Isn't that what they told the Indians? We've got 1 trap set, this intersection. Doesn't look like any customers. Calf has stood on the edge but hasn't disrupted. Well, I just turned from that last trap there, the one on the junction, and come along about 1 kilometre. I could see cattle on the road, sort of mobbed up. And I thought, what are they all seen together there for? Anyway, got up closer to about 400 metres, 500 metres, and a big yellow dog slunk across the road in front of them. So I didn't slow down, I just quickly grabbed the rifle and turned the scope on, everything I have to do with one of these night vision scopes to try and get it operable, and loaded one up, and I just thought that it might have hung around, but it didn't. It just disappeared into this low bush. Okay, well, I've come along to the next trap set that's right on the side of the road, where the triple tree is. And I've got tracks straight up my wheel tracks from last night. So right, this dog is coming here every night. Cunning, right, real cunning. So I think what I'll have to do is set more right on the road. Let's see, there might have to be a few blind traps here as well. We're coming in on this little natural spring here now. I've got the Reconyx camera set up there, so it'll be interesting just to see what's been coming into that water hole. Natural little springs like this one would have been life for the Aboriginal people of this region when it got really, really dry and there was no water in any of the creeks. There was no bores or dams or anything else like that. So places like this would have been guarded and yeah, held sacred. Interesting place, because it's right up on top of probably the highest point around, a real rocky place, and the water is coming to the top. But on this camera here, I did have a little dog come across the road, and it's come in behind the trap set. Okay, I've changed it up a little bit. I've put 2 more traps in there, one with magnet gland and one with rancid fat. We've got the old kangaroo carcass in the middle, and I've got a trap on the other side with urine. So 3 right on the side there, the way the wind is drifting onto the road, and I've put the camera on the other side of the road as well. So let's see, there's a water trough over here at the old windmill. I'd say this dog's coming in here for water. Yeah, we'll get a strike here. And I haven't seen a track for hours. So I get up here and I can see the little stitch pattern going up in the dust. And here is a set of dog tracks. Just as I was going along beside it, I could see there's an old scat on the side of the road here, an old dog scat, and it's weaved right over, probably where I could just smell it. When I go to think about putting this trap in, I look in here, there's another old scat. So this is a marking spot. So I'll put 2 traps in like that, just so that he's either going to step in it, one or the other, or both. I'll join them both together. I'll put that on a drag over off the side. Off. I said off. Little boy. Good catch, dogs, in amongst the cattle. No? Good catch. And a bit of water for a bogey. Trumpy, stop causing trouble, Trump. Trumpy. Finally some success. we've got our first strike, first dog. Didn't get the shot, but yeah, front foot catch. We've got that one little dog on trail cam. I haven't had any luck getting it to come into a trap. It's coming down one of these side fence lines here now and picked up relatively fresh tracks. I reckon tracks from last night or the night before. So this could be the direction that this dog's coming in from. This might be its main lead into water. So I'll get down here somewhere where there's like a pinch point and see if we can put a couple more traps in. We might be able to just trick this dog somewhere else. Somebody was getting so jealous that Trumpy was in the front. I might have to start calling you Kamala, eh? Yeah. No, this dog's got too much sense and too much class about it to call her a name like that. I'd have to hate her. We reckon, Mossy? Eh? Quite old day. I have not seen a trap. Got a trap up here, up ahead of us in this gully, right in the middle of the road, just sort of like a blind trap. Look at this, Mossy. Look at this, Mossy. It's worked. Big dog. Right in the middle of the wheel tracks. That's what we've been looking for. This is checking night 5. Got one dog. This is number 2. That's good. And in this situation, I reckon we've only got 4 dogs, maybe 5, but I think only 4 dogs in the whole area. So this is a very important dog. Let's get it shot. Come on, Mossy, let's go and have a look at it. Come on, quick. Mossy, whoop. Hand him up, Mossy. Hand him up. Hand him up. Hand him up. Hand him up. Big rangy hard dog. Yep. This is just like a lesson for a lot of the young trappers out there too, that oftentimes you'll set something and you'll go, no, that's not working, I've done it wrong and all the rest of it. And oftentimes it just needs time. It just needs the right circumstance for when that dog does come back to your set. This might be the first time this dog's been back here for a week. And it probably did take a trap with a little bit of, a little bit more thought to it, I suppose, to make it work. This is inside the exclusion fence. This is one of the really important dogs because there are hundreds of goats short on their count. They did a muster the other day and there are hundreds of goats being killed by these fellas. A huge loss. What this dog would have cost them is just astronomical. Again, old Jakes work well.